But of course I'll care for NASA.
Finally, an end to the Rarity episode drought that started after Sweet and Elite aired. And that was the 9th episode of season 2. I mean, think about it, it's been so long since we've had a Rarity episode. And this one's pretty interesting. It seems that the writer was just as tired as I am of the Rarity haters who don't just get Rarity. You know, like they say, oh, she's manipulative, she's selfish. So he decided, I'm going to show them a pony who's manipulative and selfish so they understand what that is, and that's the antagonist. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Alright, what happens here is that Rarity gets to go to a fashion show in Manhattan. Awesome. And her friends go along to support her, obviously. And in payment for their kindness, she is going to take them to a musical. And yes, they actually lampshade the fact that even Rainbow Dash is interested. I mean, and she actually says, yeah, I usually don't like musicals. I mean, ponies randomly bursting out the songs. When does that happen? Hilarious. That line. Yeah, and just letting you know, this episode is getting full marks just because of that line. Because that joke was hilarious. So, anyway, when Rarity gets there, she meets an old friend who has the most grating voice ever, who I automatically hate for petty reasons, but I know she's going to be the villain anyway because, you know, I read spoilers. So she meets this friend, and I can't remember her name. I'll probably remember it after a few repeat viewings. I think it was Prim. It was something longer, but Prim for short, I believe. Anyway, yeah, they get talking, and she sees Rarity's line. Yeah, and of course, alarm bells went off in my head. I would have told Rarity, don't let her see it. She's technically your competition. There's a difference between being generous and being overly trusting, and yeah, she kind of crossed that line. But it feels in character for her because this is an old friend of hers. And of course, she asks, "Oh, can I borrow some of the fabric for accents?" And of course, she rips off the entire line. Sorry for that edit. I just rambled for a moment and lost my train of thought. Anyway, so what happens from there is Rarity pretty much has to get a whole new line together, like at the last second, and her friends have to help her. The problem is she gets rather haughty about it because, you know, someone took advantage of her generosity. And she doesn't know how to react to that, so she's lashing out at her friends, and that feels in character because this has never happened before in the show, and this is an irregularity on the show. There aren't a lot of ponies that will take advantage of Rarity's generosity. That just doesn't seem to be the norm. It doesn't seem to be the norm for these ponies to be manipulative and self-centered. Just a bit of interpretation on my part. So, anyway, they do get the line together, but Rarity realizes that what was important was her friends, and she actually leaves the fashion show to apologize to them. And it's pretty good. Works out pretty well. The antagonist decides to be even more of an incredible... She actually lies to Rarity and says as she was disqualified. Not cool. Of course, she gets a comeuppance, and Rarity is declared the winner. Gets her fashion line all presented in Manhattan and all that. Everyone's happy. Main Six get to see their musical and blah blah blah. I don't know why, but there's something about this episode that makes me feel meh. I only watched it once, and I'm watching it late at night, as you can see from the lighting. So I don't know what it is, but unlike some of the other episodes I've seen in season 4 and the other seasons, this one hasn't just jumped out and grabbed me. It may be the song. The song isn't bad, but it's not particularly good. It does serve a very definitive purpose to, make it clear what Rarity's personality is and how she is generous, and basically telling all the Rarity haters to go take a long walk off a short pier. Can't get excited for this episode the way I thought I would. I thought I would be actually kind of excited for this episode, but I'm not. I don't know what it is quite yet. I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning of the video. Wow, I am an idiot. Well, you probably know who I am, so who cares? Be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. See you next time.